Hello and welcome to Christian News Digest. Let's see what we have today. Oh, you've probably heard about this. It's been all over the news. The outrage over the gorilla named Harambe shot dead at the Cincinnati Zoo because a 3 or 4-year-old child got into the gorilla cage and they needed to put the gorilla down in order to protect the life of a child because, as the experts have said, they could crush a coconut in one hand very easily, a 450-pound beast. It's sad, but really the outrage is half of the news. That you even see examples like this all over Twitter. Next time, shoot the human, and it's an idolatry of animals, and some people make the extreme argument that the gorilla is an endangered species, so it's more valuable than humans, or some extreme people would just want humans to be wiped off the earth so that Mother Nature will be safe without us. But even with, but it's actually a high percentage of Americans that are outraged over this. That next time shoot the human. It's actually there's vigils for the gorilla, and there's just so many people that don't agree with what seems like a common sense policy that we would want to keep human beings alive. Jeff Durbin had a good response. He noticed what many other people do. He recognizes that the difference between something that does not bear God's image and something that does. So he says, I would kill any animal that is about to harm a human or a child. The theology matters, because there was a time where we recognized that men were made in the image of God and animals are not. There's a sanctity of human life that we're losing. Dr. James White has said that when you don't have a creator of humans, you lose humanity completely. You wonder, are animals actually more valuable than humans in a amoral, morally upside down, insane world? And let's look at this article. Killing babies is no different than abortion, experts say. And that sounds crazy, it sounds disgusting, but it's actually consistent. Why is it, from the pro-choice position, perfectly acceptable to kill a child 5 minutes before it's born, but not okay 5 minutes after it's born? Now, some are from the pro-choice human autonomy side, and that's what's behind all of this. No creator suppressing the knowledge and awareness of our Creator God for the sake of human autonomy. And this is disgusting, but it's consistent to say that, if we have a newborn baby that's somehow deformed, let's kill it. If we can, they call it a postnatal abortion. Let's just kill babies if we feel like it, which should be a scary thing. But that's what we've been hearing in recent days. When we suppress the knowledge of God, it causes us to want to be whatever we want. So here's this guy's writing a book. I might have heard this story. This British man takes a holiday from being human to live as a goat. Now, it's strange, and it'd be one thing if you just wanted to have some kind of fantasy vacation, but when we refuse to acknowledge that God made us, then we really think that we can become anything in our expression of hating the God that made us. And this is having those prosthetic limbs that you could see in the picture, and trying to get like a second stomach with the digestive acids of a goat, so you could experience the redigested grass and such. It's a similar story recently about someone who tried to live as a raccoon, although the raccoons didn't really want to hang out with that guy. And here's a headline that just kind of speaks for itself in its irony, that migrants from Tunisia and Italy burned down their own welcome center. Just kind of funny. You'd expect that you'd want to wait a few months before trying to burn down Europe, but it's ironic when you see the refugee welcome center burnt down by refugees. It's ironic. Also, lastly, concerning church politics, another mainline, another very liberal denomination, just joining the culture, the moral revolution, one step at a time. The Church of Scotland they have voted to allow clergy members to have gay marriage, although they're kind of somewhat on the fence, but they're not really. The reason why they claim to be somewhat on the fence is that they have not yet voted to redefine marriage, even though they have allowed gay marriage for their clergy. They put off the vote to redefine marriage for next year, although they partially changed it, at least for their pastors. And again, we should remember that we've sometimes heard the argument that in order to be relevant and understood with the youngest generation, the church needs to compromise on how the Lord Jesus defined marriage in order to reach the newest generation. But it's if you look at the numbers, all of the denominations that have caved on this issue are just absolutely plummeting in their numbers, and the only denominations that are at least treading water and keeping even are the ones that actually believe something. Well, that's a summary of some of the headlines, just looking at the world from a Christian worldview, and praying for our nation, and praying for the world, and praying for the church.